All right. Grass puddle. Angry. Did you have to join a new stream or did it just come back on? I'm assuming you had to. What's going on? Why are you ing me? Oh, you're dancing. I see what you're doing. You're getting down. Is that what you're doing? No. Damn it. New stream, baby. We're getting all the viewers. YouTube probably hates my ass for just making new streams like that all the time, but oh well. Oh well, what are we gonna do? So, okay, we got that button in there. Let's see what we can do now. So let's always just make a new stream. Okay. Looks like our dropped frames is better. Oh, well, let's close this. Let's get some stuff closed. Looks like our CPU's trying to max out. What are you doing, CPU? Ah, it was Firefox doing that to you, huh? Yeah, we'll close that. All right, that's going to drop that down, so we shouldn't lose any more frames. To CPU maxing out. We currently have no drop frames due to network. Please stay that way. We seem to have full bars on everything. Happy, happy. Okay, let's get some shit done tonight, shall we? You know, the streams are supposed to be an afterthought. I really just want to get shit done. That's how I am. And the streams keep fucking with the church's money, as they say. So, I don't know if these are supposed to be soldered down. It looks like they have solder on them. Or is that like a little gripper? Can't tell. They definitely are supposed to be soldered in on this side, so let's do that real quick. This is how this thing stays in here. There we go. Maybe. Solder really doesn't want to stick to that. It is repelling it. There we go. Big old solder ball on there, buddy. Same over here. There we go. Big old solder ball. Now this can't move. And it just pushes down. Yeah, this button is not, you can't solder to it. It's, I don't know, some type of metal you can't solder to. Why is my computer making noises? I can set OBS to high prio. So we've dropped no frames so far. It did say we had an OBS reconnect just then, but I don't see any issues. We have no drop frames on network or frames missed due to rendering lag, so I think we're doing pretty good. You guys keep me in the know if something changes. So that looks good. So, oh, you know what? I don't think I brought my multimeter down because I had to use it today upstairs. Probably have to go get it. I do want to test to make sure that we get continuity here now on the button. When we press it down between, it looks like we're connecting ground and whatever this is. Whatever this goes to, looks like a reset line on the CPU probably. Grounds out the reset line. I'm not going to have axials in these to replace them probably. We'll have to do, and we'll want to mark this because it has no indication of the board which side is positive, so we'll mark the board when we replace these, and we'll just put, so that's plus, this is plus, this is plus. This one looks like it's non-polarized. I don't know if I have any non-polarized. Yeah, it's an NP. That one's just gonna have to stay what it is because I don't have any NPs. And this one is a plus on that side, so let's see. So there's that one, and this is a 20 volt at 10. So let's get our kit. 20 volt at 10. At 10, here are 25s at 10. So this is 25, and it will just have to be put in like this. Look at that size difference. Same capacitance, same, well actually this has a higher voltage rating, and look how much smaller that is. Is that not crazy? How are we doing? How are we doing now, guys? Oh, Dave just asked. I wanted to know. You guys tell me, how are we doing? We doing pretty good? Looks like we still stuttering. Yeah, I see that. I see dropped frames on network. That really sucks. Yeah, I rebooted the modem. I rebooted the router. Everything got a reboot. I don't know. You know, it's crazy because this never happened till I went on vacation, and now I come back and this is a problem. Like nothing changed. The setup has not changed at all. Let me try something real fast. Yeah, don't see any background updates. The computer itself is not. I have background apps turned off. We're at 70% CPU, 50% memory. Network is, so if I go to resource manager, we're way under 10 megabytes a second. We're at like 2 usage. Yeah, we're at like 2 megabytes a second usage, or megabit per second, under the resource manager. The only things using internet are OBS and system. And the system is using like 10 bits a second. OBS is the only thing using the network at all. So if we go to CMD, their update sitting at idle. Well, I've been telling it not to update, so probably. So if I go to Windows Update, yes. Well, this is running Windows 10, so it's very mad at me. Oh, of course, there's an antivirus update. When is there not an antivirus update? It's already downloaded the update. It was like the smallest update ever. It says it's installing. How are we doing on Resource Manager? Yeah, we got our CPU maxed out now because it's doing that update. Okay, well, the stream's going to be shit until it's done with this, I guess. Oh, no, it's not maxed out anymore. It's at, like... There it goes. It's going back down. Hi, Attic. We're dealing with network issues. This... Taking a shit here, I guess. Alright, well, the stream's going to be mostly shit for a little bit, probably really stuttery and everything else, but in the meantime, I'm just going to desolder these last 2 caps and put the new ones in. It's not going to be very riveting anyways, so you're not missing much. This is on the ground plane, so it's... There it goes. We'll see if it improves once this update's done. I don't know. Alright, there's all of our capacitors out, and they are all 20s at 10 and 20 at 10. So we'll flip you back over. We'll get 2 more 20s at 10. And we will install them. Like so. Like so. There we go. Make sure those are down all the way. All right, time to solder these in. There we go. How we doing, folks? We still dropping like flies in the old, let's see. Oh yeah, we're dropping 50% of frames on the network. Wow, that's awesome. Why? Why, God? Why? I really think it's this computer. I don't think... Get back on there, buddy. There we go. It shows that it's dropped no frames due to rendering lag, and when it does drop them, it's dropping them due to network. Sorry about that. I'm messing with stuff. Yeah, that's the next thing we're going to do here, guys. We're going to install OBS on this Intellivision. I hope you're excited for that. I know I am. I might just end up just recording this, making it into a YouTube video, and spending tomorrow trying to fix my stream. I hate spending days on stream, though. I just want to fix shit. I don't want to deal with the damn computer. Did I get all the legs? Yes, I did. So those are all soldered in now. And they're all the right way around. Very good. We have one more to do right here. This is a very small little cap. There it goes. This is a 47 at 16. This is a Nichicon, so that's probably still good. But we'll put a 47 at 50 in its place. There we go. Okay. So that's all of our capacitors replaced. Need to get my toothbrush and get all the dust off this button here. That's better. Alright, so that's all the capacitors replaced besides the non-polarized one. This computer never turns off. It's on all the time. Might be part of the problem at this point. Seems good to you? Alright, well, I'm glad to hear it. Hopefully it stays that way. I don't know. It's being weird. Okay, so now we got this recapped and everything. What we want to do is we want to get our wires put in here for our Intellivision. So here is our board. Let me show you what we're working with. I bought this years and years and years ago. And I thought that this Intellivision didn't work. Because for the longest time, this has just been sat in storage. Because I bought this, I couldn't tell you, probably 5 years ago, if not more, this mod board. Because I didn't think this Intellivision worked. And then we, on stream, just plugged it in, and I was like, yeah, we'll test this, we'll get this to work. And it just worked. So I was like, oh, well, shit, that's weird. So let me figure out where the best place to stick this guy is. Let's get some double-sided tape, and we'll stick him down. Of course, we'll do our wiring first. So let's get our wires here. They give you this shitty wire to do this with. It's so bad. I don't know why they give you the worst stuff. It's single core, just garbage. And I really don't have a... Well, I do have patch wire. What am I saying? I could use that. Where's my little thing of patch wire? This guy. Could use this wire wrapping wire. It's 30 AUG. This is nicer than the shit they give you in the kits. Might use that. Or we can use a little bit thicker wire, like this guy. I don't know if we have enough of that, though. What is this? That's more of that cord wire. Yank, you probably lost some height after your accident. Probably smashed you down a little bit, huh? Huh? Probably did. Compress that spine a bit, I imagine. Just a little bit. Or does that mean? All right, here's some good wire. This is not so bad. Okay. So here's some good wire. It's still solid core, which I fucking hate, but it will do the job. So we need to wire up our... Let's get our little holder here. Plus as red, video will be yellow, audio will be blue, and course ground will be black. So get all those in there. Get my hair out of the way. Just do one at a time, so audio first. Then video. Then we'll do our positive. Then our negative. There we go. Clip these off at the bottom. There's all of our inputs into the board. Yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping it holds too. Smash you a little bit. Okay. So let me find the guide on where these solder in here. What the hell? No, I don't want to download something. Is this the same? Yeah, it looks like a different kit, but it should be the same points. Yeah, okay. So looks like what we're doing is we're going to take this. We'll keep all this length on here so we can put it somewhere in the case. And we're going to be looking on this side of the board. And we're going to get our 5 volts right here. So 5 right here on this pin. We're going to get our ground over here, this big ground plane. Yep. We're going to get our audio right here off the RF box, and we're going to get our video. So that's V, and this is A up here. So we just got to solder to those 4 points on the board. I'm going to keep our wires twisted here, I guess. So 5 volt is going to be right here. We're going to trim that wire down. That's too long. Cut that like so. Let me just get some solder on that and then connect it. Like that. That's not going anywhere. And then our audio comes off of this third pin right over here. How are we doing on camera? Doesn't matter because our fucking stream sucks tonight. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what to do. I've restarted everything, and this has been multiple days it's been doing this now. Sucks. There's our audio. And then video is right up here. That's this one. There we go. All right. And there is our output all soldered in. So we'll probably try to route this a little better, like that. And these can come out like whatever. And now we have all this in here, and we can start putting the shield back together. So, well, actually, this one, it did not want to use the, like the IntelliVoice didn't work with this. And Yank, if you can hear me through all the static of how shitty this setup is, sorry. If you could tell me, if you know or can, or whatever, is the IntelliVoice supposed to work with the original Intellivision? Because I'm pretty sure it is supposed to. But it definitely is not. And I'm just going to reflow all the pins on the connector here and see if that fixes the issue. And if not, I'm probably just going to not mess with it and not sell the IntelliVoice with this one. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to work with this though, because it's the same color and everything. Like, it definitely looks like it was meant to work with this, and not only the Intellivision 2. So we'll just reflow all these. There we go. And then you know what we'll do? We will put a sticker right there. That's what we'll do. Then we'll put the case back on. So let's solder this, all the shields back on here. Probably the other way. It's supposed to. Alright. Yeah, I figured, Yank. I figured it was supposed to work. Thank you for confirming. Appreciate it. So bam, it's stickied. Yes sir, yes sir. go. Get all this ground planeage re-ground planed. There we go. This side seems to be sitting up a little low. Oh, I see why. It's because you're being a pain in my ass. Why are you being a pain in my ass? I might ask. That's better. A lot of solder they put on these. They did not skimp on that. That one's on there. That one looks like it's not. There we go. Alright, that's all of them soldered on. So let's make sure all of our cables are making good connection before we put the top back on. That looks good, that looks good, that looks good. Is our button down here looking good? It is. That's our reset button. Our reset button should be good now. Shouldn't have any issues with it. Might glue it in. How are we doing stream-wise, guys? Doing okay? Not really much more I can do. Sorry. I'm gonna have to figure that out here in the future. So the way that this goes back on is how? Like this? Yeah, and all these wires have to go through somewhere, and from what I saw online, they usually just bend this door out, like that, and then they can all go through this door right here. Like so. I got your message, Yank. I'll try to remember to do that. Try to get that. I just don't understand why this is suddenly a problem. This has never been a problem in the past with this stream at all. Never been a problem. Just suddenly, just a giant pain in the ass. Oh well. So we'll bend that case back like that. Push these in. Push these in, and now we gotta resolder all these back on. Before we resolder all those back on, I do kind of want to do a composite check before I do all that work to make sure that we're good. I will solder the ground plane back on there though. Let's do like one. This one's like already touching. The problem is that OBS is the only thing using my system. Like if I go to Resource Manager, nothing else is using any data or anything. It's literally only OBS, so I don't know what... Ah, okay. Yeah, and we put this through the wrong hole. This needs to go up there, so let's fix that real fast. Yank's like, I hear you, bro, but it's still fucked. You still gotta fix it. Something is fucked. Okay, let's take that off. This cable needs to come over here and sit right there. Now this can go back on. Like, mate, your shit's still fucked, bro. You need to fix your shit. Okay. There it is. We have a reset button now. That should work. Yeah, I know. That's the thing. It was never a problem until I went on vacation and came back, and now it's just a massive issue. And I'm really not sure what changed. Nothing changed. The computer was on the whole time I was on vacation. It's not like like at first I was like, okay, it's just updating, right? Like, yeah, I was gone for a long time. It turned off, it turned on a few times while I was gone. It's just updating. And then, yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's it anymore. It just seems to be shit all the time. It's a kind of shit. It's a mostly shit. Okay, let's see how this looks. So here's our... Well, actually no, I want to use the one with the screw. Let's use the 3D part. An OBS update? You might have some help with you with settings. Can an OBS update make that such of a difference? I guess it could, huh? No. Okay, so how is composite usually laid out? Is it yellow to the left, yellow to the right? What is it? It's usually yellow to the left, white in the middle, and red to the right, if I'm not mistaken. There we go. So if this is on the bottom of the console and we're facing it, then it's yellow on the left. Look at that. And then white in the middle, which is black in this set for some reason, and then red on the end. Get the nut on there, get it started, stop cross-threading, you cheap composite port, cheap ass composite port. What do you think of my 3D print job though? It's pretty nice, huh? It's not exactly the brown, it's more of a gold, but it'll do. It'll do. Why is this not threading on? Stop going on cross-threaded, you cheap piece of shit. You're cheap. Very cheap. Because you got sold with a kit, and that guy went on AliExpress. You know what he did? He found the cheapest piece of shit he could and said, yep, that's what I'm selling with my kit. I'm selling that cheap-ass piece of shit. Okay, where's my needle nose? Yeah, I checked Google. It was not dropping packets, I don't think, to Google. At least in my little quick test, you know, just ping google.com. It seemed to receive all of them. Where's our big pliers? I don't think we used them today, so they could be anywhere. How fun is that? They're probably over there under the console. Alright, let's just try another one. That one's being majorly difficult. That one's being major pain in my assholes. Come on, nut. Get on there, buddy. Keeps getting stuck, like one thread in, like it's cross-threaded. Doesn't look cross-threaded. Maybe it's just some really rough... If I get it past a rough... There we go. Got it. All right, there's our video. Then we'll get our audio. White goes in the middle, not, well, black in this case. Black goes in the middle. Lock nut, washer, or lock nut, and then nut. And that threads on just fine. Ah, come on. Will you sit where you're supposed to? Stop going up under it. There you go. The lock nut goes, oh my fucking god. Come here, lock. You go on. Then the lock nut. Now. There it goes. And bend this back up. All right, now we have our composite left to right on the back of the console, video, audio, audio. So the next thing I can do is I can get our cables ran on this. How we doing, folks? It's a hobby. Welcome in. I hope the lag isn't too bad for you, my friend. I know it is not very good. Hamad WD. I will do, okay, so ping-t, we'll do that. Ping-t. Oh, I forgot this keyboard does shit. I just need to get a new computer for streaming. This computer is so bad. The fucking google.com. All right, we'll let that fucking run for a while. Hamad WD, thank you for subscribing. If it should pop up eventually, it's pretty slow to do so. This is just a hobby. My profession, yeah, I'm gonna get the buffering figured out. My profession is an electrical engineer, so this is the fun stuff I don't get to mess with in my free. This is the fun electrical stuff that I don't get to do for my job that we do at home. I'm not working. So I like doing very old vintage consoles. I have a lot of videos doing Intellivision 2s, Intellivisions, Ataris are my main thing. I have a lot of shorts on my YouTube channel of me running games on Atari 400 computers. There's a lot of old streams when we were getting the Atari 400 computer to work. That's a lot of fun. We have an Amiga 500 that I recently did on the last stream. That just needed, it probably needs a recap. We'll see if I'll probably see how much the cap kit is, or if all the caps are just common and I have them. If they're all common, I'll just do them. But, so, an Amiga 500 I bought some cool stuff for that I think you guys will enjoy. I bought a floppy emulator and such, so in the future here we can play with that. Let's see if I have caps to replace. I don't know if I have caps that big in this kit or not. Does this kit have 10,000s? Oh, it does. It does have 10,000s. That is a... See, it's so hard getting radial caps. It sucks because this probably isn't going to fit on the board because of that, and the legs aren't long enough. So we needed a... I'll be back on cam in just a second. Just give me a second. All right? My gosh, guys, come on. Come on, give me a break. 22 at 16. This is 22. Oh my god, they glued it to the board right where it says the voltage rating. Looks like it's 22. It doesn't say a voltage rating. It's got to. It's got to be right where that glue is, son of a bitch. I figure if we're going to replace the caps, we might as well replace them all, right? So here's our power board. Problem is this has radial caps in all of our cap kits. I have yet to find a cap kit that has radials in it. They're always regular axials. Or I've just flopped them, didn't I? They're always, no, axial is this way, right? Radial is up and down. So yeah, they're always radial, they're not axial. Unless I got that backwards somehow. But there's 3 caps we need to replace on the power board. This looks like a pretty easy one, 100 at 16. Yeah, we'll do that one. Is this on? Is this thing on? I think our gun had it. We did put a lot of solder in it, so it's probably, yeah, it's stuffed up. We gotta empty our desolder gun here, or it's not gonna do much for us. I don't have to empty this really that often. It does a great job. Put that back in and hit the button. We're back in. Let's see if we're back in business. Seems like a no. Seems like we're not back in business. Seems a kind of sheet. Let's see. You stuffed up, buddy? What's going on with you? There we go. Okay. There we go. And that comes right out. That was negative like this, that way around. Looks like it does show our positives on the bottom of this. What's that's for the, no, that's right. Okay, yeah. And this is let's mark the board here so we don't forget. So that's positive this way. This one is positive this way. This one is positive this way as well. So this is 100 at 16, so let's get 100 at 16 out of the kit. Drop him in. We're gonna have to either go to the electronic surplus store and get axials of this rating, or we're just gonna have to make the radials work. Haven't decided what I want to do. I've seen people just make the radials work, but, or we just don't replace them. I mean, this was a fully working console before we started mucking with it, so. How's the stream doing, gentlemen? Make radials work, Yank says. Yeah, so we can just use some patch wire or not patch wire, but just like some, I think I got some 24 AUG, and make that work. Come on out of there. Problem is it's also glued to the board. That is some old glue on there, man. Come on off of there. See if we can use, can just cut it off. And roll it. And this is a 2200 at 25. At 25. Get that foot out of there. Get that foot out of there. And this is a 2200 at 16, so we need a bigger cap. We have 2200s at 25 in here. Here's 35, 2200 at 35. So we can maybe reach with this. We won't get to go through the hole though, which really sucks. Probably want to make sure we get wire through the hole, so we will get some batch wire here, and we'll get our wire strippers, and we'll get some of this with our that, we'll get some of that with our this. Is it? It's 10 o'clock. Okay, we're doing all right. We'll probably end definitely before midnight, but we'll see what we get done here. So we'll strip this wire back a bit, and we'll try to clear this hole out. So we'll add some solder to this hole. This via, this old school via, maybe. And I hear my computer beeping, so I bet you we lost connection and reconnected again. So that's really, really awesome. So there's our negative lead. We'll leave him right there on the edge. Well, we probably want to bend him over actually, because the way the axial works, it's going to be really, can we do like this? It's not going to look professional this way, but it's not going to be in the way, which is what we want. And then we can hot glue it down. How do we want to do that? Let's just solder him in this side. There we go. And then we'll cut this wire to length, make him pretty long in comparison to, so we can strip it pretty long. There we go. And then what we're going to do is wrap it around the foot here and then solder it in. So wrap that around the foot. I said wrap. I said wrap around. There we go. Wrong foot. Then we'll solder that in. Like that. Oh shit, we moved it and it was still hot. Bad move. Bad move. Some solder on this side of that too. There we go. All right, look at that. Now we have an axial. Look how much smaller that cap is in comparison to the old one. Where's the old one? Look at that. That's what 40 years of electronics does. Makes things a hell of a lot smaller than they originally were, huh? Isn't that something? I think so. So yeah, that's plus there. So now we will just have to, well, we can actually UV this to the board, I think, because I have my UV mask. Definitely UV this point right here so that it's not flapping in the breeze. And then UV the wire down as well. So I'll show you right now how we do that. So we have our UV curing stuff right here. Paste. And we'll put some right there on the board. And we'll put some over here on the board. Yeah, so I started as computer science in my undergrad. I quickly switched to computer engineering. Nothing wrong with computer science. I just really like the hands-on stuff. And don't get me wrong, if you're a computer engineer, it's not like you're going to be playing with boards every day like this, but like in my job, I get to design payloads and stuff like that, and that's pretty cool. Is it still a lot of programming and all that jargon? Of course, but I find this stuff pretty cool and rewarding. So when I'm at home, this is what I like to do. Let's continue to use this. Let's use this on the cap. Oh my god, that's a lot. Shit. Well, that's not going anywhere. I'll tell you that right now. Shit, man. I'm gonna have to buy more of this stuff. Don't want to push more of that out. So it's like a lot of people think engineering is some dude, you know, Tony Stark building a fucking thing in a cave with a box of scraps. But it's a lot of programming. It's a lot of stuff that isn't as fun to get you to the point where you get to do the fun stuff, right? But that's life. That is life. Let this sit there. If you have any other questions, I know me and Attic both have advanced degrees in engineering, so feel free to ask us questions on our school journey and everything else. We got the knowledge. We'll help you out, man. All right, so that's done. So I'm going to clip this one now. And then roll this big guy off. Big guy. Come on! Oh my god, he's glued on there, ladies and gentlemen. There it goes. There it is. Alright, so then we'll bend this leg over and we'll actually use these legs to our advantage instead of just clipping them off like an idiot like we did last time. So I'm going to do this. And we'll clip. Right? And my stream is disconnecting again. I hear it. What the fuck? Some guy, well, maybe never. Maybe this thing just goes in the dump after I'm done with it and some guy buys it. But some guy in the future, I hope, hopefully in a long time, hopefully this lasts like ages before someone opens it again. But Some guy in the future is going to open this thing and see this job and be like, what the fuck was this guy doing? And then he'll see my sticker on here, and he'll find my YouTube channel and be like, whoa, what the hell's going on here? This guy's kind of cool. That is exactly what's going to happen, by the way. Just like that. But in like 100 years. It's gonna be a long fucking time. Alright, let's see if we can. You might even find this video and be watching it right now. Watching me fix this thing, you know. It's been a million years in the future. Wondering why the shit I went to all this effort in the first place. Hey man, your guess is as good as mine. It's just another Thursday night, or fuck, Monday night. I don't even know what day of the week it is, apparently. Alright, so there we go. Solder that on there. There we go. And that is how you do that thing. That's how you do the thing. It's how you use very cheap, easily to get parts to make your complicated part work. I don't know why the radials are just so much easier to get. Probably because they're used in actual modern electronics, and the axials really aren't. But yeah, I would say I had pretty much 100% overlap until my junior year. Of course Yank is here. I don't know what degrees Yank has, though. I'm sure he can give input. I only mention Attic because I know what degrees he has. Yeah, the AI makes it tough, man. The problem is, and I think this will self-correct soon, but the problem is that no one's hiring entry-level because they're just making AI do the entry-level work. But there's going to be a time here in the future when all the people who aren't entry-level retire, and then what are they going to do? It's not like you can just start a job not entry-level. Like, everyone's going to start entry-level. What do they expect is going to happen? You know? I don't get it. Okay, we definitely need to add some to the edge of this, make this not move. So in hindsight, I'd probably want to use not my more expensive stuff for this, which is the, you know, solder mask. Probably should just be using hot glue right now, but fuck it. Yeah, I don't understand what their end game is here. If they just don't hire entry-level jobs and have AI do it, like, what do they expect is going to happen? Other than a giant shortage of advanced individuals later on. So this is UV curable solder mask. So the UV light turns it from a liquid to a solid. I don't know the chemistry behind how it does that, but it does. And it makes it hard as a rock. So this is adhering the wires to the board so that when this moves in the mail and once it gets to the dude's house and he moves it from room to room, whoever ends up buying this when I'm done with it, he's not going to have these capacitors touching off on stuff and to bricking the console. All right, so let's look through our work here. We got our wires going to our positive terminals. That all looks good. Our negative terminal is going to the negative side, negative terminal to the negative side. Our wires are going into this board. That looks good. We've replaced all the capacitors on this board as well as all the capacitors on the logic board. So this is done. This is ready to have the screws put back in and go back into service. We do have this leg that kind of floats, but he is very hard to move. I don't think he's going anywhere. I'm not really worried about him. Not worried about him. All of the capacitors are adhered to the board. They're definitely not moving. This is a 1000 at 25. It replaces a 1000 at 16, so that's good. This is a 2200 capacitor. It is being replaced, well, 2200 at 35 volts, and it's being replaced. It is replacing a 2200 at 25 volts. So if you don't know, your capacitors can always have a higher voltage than, that is just the rating. So the potential can be higher, the potential rating can be higher, it cannot be lower. Your microfarad, your 2200, has to be exactly the same. You cannot just willy-nilly change that. But you can go up in voltage on the cap and it will work. FYI. FYI. Okay, so this board is done. So that's our power board completely recapped. Our logic board's been completely recapped. So now we just need to do our wiring for our composite mod here. And I did end up finding my needle nose, so we can try to tighten these a little bit more. Try to get these really tight on here so that when the guy in the future is unplugging and plugging in all his composite cables, he's not rotating this in here and breaking the wires. I want these to be really tight on here so that it will, there we go, that is not going anywhere. Fantastic. Okay, we can turn off the desolder gun because we don't need that. So this is our audio, video, and ground. So ground is on the top. We need ground across all three of these because without ground, it's not going to work. So let's get that stripped away. And then we're just going to thread this wire on through all of our ground holes, and we can bend it. This is kind of the hard part. This is a pain in the rear. So bend that like that. Where did our needle nose go? Pull that on through. You can do better than that. Come on. Come on through there. There you go. And like I said, I don't know what, I'm sure he's replied and I haven't read it yet. I don't know, I said I didn't know what degree Yank has, but when it comes to repairing electronics, he has taught me a lot. So someone get him an honorary degree in electronics repair. That's for damn sure, if he doesn't have one already. Dude knows his shit. All right, and there's our ground wire. So let's solder our ground wire in. How's the stream doing, lads? Is it doing all right? We still skipping quite a bit? And there we go. That's honestly the most pain in the ass part because it's so long. You get so much exposed wire. We'll just bend this out. Get that bend out of the wire, that's better. All right, so now we do our video cable. Video cable's the easiest because it literally just goes in the video port. Ah! It's trying to fall away on me. Let's do the really short side. Maybe like that. Sad part is, I know we're trying to get this to work tonight, but I want to clean the case, and these wires have to go through the case. We can do, well, we can do a preliminary test. That's just 3 wires we're soldering. Let's do a preliminary test so we can at least see if we got a working console tonight. See if we broke anything doing all this soldering and everything else. Taking all the caps out. See if we put any in backwards and royally fucked it, or any of these Chinese caps are rated for something and they're not actually going to handle it, or something weird like that. Okay, before I solder that in, let me read what you guys are talking about. So yes, I would be more worried about H1B than AI. But then again, IDK Whitfield's hiring well right now. We have no clue what is safe. I think it has been good. I think PCB design is also pretty cool in making your own hardware. Yeah, it is very cool. I think so. I design very basic boards in my job, like just prototype stuff, because most of the time buying the thing is the best way to go for cost and everything when I'm doing prototyping. But when it comes to stuff like for the hobby, like vintage hobby, I design a few little boards. I get them, well, I mostly fabricate them. I mostly find what other people have made. Signal, ground, and you're golden. You're golden like this. Look how golden we are here. There it is. So there's our wires. There's our ports, all soldered in, all ready to go. So what we can do, so we can go back here. There's our cap kit we used. And we can sit this back in here. It sits right there like this. These are the 2 screws that hold it in. We're not going to put all the screws in, but we'll put a few. Oh, that got bent. This leg's got bent out. And those back out of the way. Okay, let's just probably not put many more screws in, but because I want to clean this case. Push that back in. Oh no, this was in the right place back there. Damn it. We swapped this and now it's fucked up again. Of course I plug that in, and that's like the hardest thing, the easiest thing to break. So this does not need to go up here. This needs to go down here. Ahmad, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it very much. Stop by anytime. We're doing this most days of the week, to be honest with you, around this time. So if you're ever bored, hey, if you want help with your damn homework, come stop by. We might be able to help you out. I don't fucking know. Been a while since we've been in school, but might be able to help a brother out. Help a brother out now and again, you know? It's good for everybody. All right, route that right there. Yank told me he'd do your homework. I heard him say it, so. You got that going for you. We're going to keep that hanging out there. Wow, that port is omega loose. That is awful. Are the pins that loose? No, I think it's just the plastic shell. Yank just says, mm-hmm. Yep, he'll do it. He said so. I heard him. He said, yep, I'll do that damn homework. He'll get you a good grade, bro. Good ass grade. All right, that's plugged in there. PCB's getting voltage here. Here's our wires for our composite. That's plugged in here. Do we need our controllers for the game to boot? I honestly have no idea, but we'll plug just this one in because it's the easier one to unplug. Okay. And now we got to take this whole shebang back to the solder bench. He says, mm-hmm, no. Mm-hmm, no. Okay, Yank. Whatever. Whatever, bro. So we got video there. Here's our audio. Let's solder one in at a time. Let's get our little helper. To hold the board in one place. There we go. So that was video. Here's audio. And then ground. Okay. Those are all soldered in. Kind of shittily soldered in, but soldered in nonetheless. Enough for a basic test, I think. Oh shit, well now we got this all tangled over here, don't we? Okay. So we'll take this back over to the other bench. Let's see here. So we should have the minimum set up to plug this in. That's in, that's in. What channel is it set to? It is set to 3, okay. I'm kind of retarded. You're not, bro. You like to say you are, but you're not. Okay, we'll put it on the on position. Are we ready? We will give it a game, which we just had. We had with it. We had a game. Here it is, Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong. Okay. What's the worst that can happen? So let's plug her in. Nothing has blown up yet. Nothing is very mad. We'll put it in the off position. Now we will actually plug in our cableage. This is some really sus cableage, so I'm not going to be too surprised if this doesn't work. That won't even go in there. Why not? There it goes. It's just really... These are some really tight plugs. Okay. Let's see. There you are. Composite video. Players 1 or 2? Oh, there we go. Maybe the other player is player 1? Let's see. Let's turn it off. Yeah, this is player 1. I don't know what's going on at the top. It looks like we got some color differences near Donkey Kong. That might just be the game, though. It's interesting. You see how, like, the princess is like a lighter purple than the rest of everything? Why'd DK look like that? Pretty stable picture, though, huh? Pretty good. This console... Let's see if that... Okay, I don't see that color difference on this screen, so maybe it is just the game. Oh shit, that's Spawn, bro. Why DK you look like that? Why he look like that? Let's see if the Intellivoice works now. Let's get an Intellivoice game. Well, let's get another game. We can try an Intellivoice. We'll also try like Blackjack or something here. So here's Blackjack, Poker. Yeah, it's got it too. It's like a different colored line at the top. Interesting. Shaking anything? Does anything? No. Huh. I don't know how to start this game. I'm hitting buttons and it's not doing anything. What else? Oh, we wanted to try the IntelliVoice. That's what it was. Let's see if this works now. This did not work at all before, so. Nope. Still just a black screen. Don't know why the IntelliVoice doesn't seem to work on this. Why he look like that? Audio seems good though. Oh, let's see if our reset button works. Looking like a no. Oh, yeah, there it went. I just had to push it a little harder. Okay, so that is doing what it should. Let me read up on the guide. I didn't really use a guide. I just found a picture of where the signals and the AV and stuff are and just used it. Maybe I should actually read it. So this pretty much did exactly how I did. Oh man, this guy uses a much fancier board. Oh my god. Yeah, that's not what I got. So this is the Intellivision Composite Mod by Intellivision Composite Mod. Here we go. Looks like I should try a different. I think I should try a different composite cable set because this one is absolutely garbage. See if it gets any better using one that isn't. This one needs to go in the fucking trash, to be real. This one is so bad. Need to find a better one. Thanks, Attic. Good night. Good night. Good night. Do I have any of these cables? Oh, the red one is good. Let's do red. We'll have no audio, but that's fine. Put that in right there. Take this one out so we don't have any weird interference going on here. Yeah, still seems like blue or a different color at the top. Can't really seem to get past the beginning screen on blackjack and poker. That is a very solid line. Trying to see if moving the cables around gets rid of it or changes anything. I don't have all the RF shielding soldered in, so it could be an RF thing, but it seems so consistent. Usually RF is just noisy. This is just a bar at the top. Very odd. Now, why would you do such a thing? Why would you be so mean? Okay, let's see if we can get to that little adjustment. See if we can adjust that out. It's all the way on the other side. Of course it is. Can I get to it through the case? I can get to it through the case. Okay, we'll do that. So put this back, all the way back down. This might just be caused by the fact that we don't have the RF shielding all soldered back in, but I don't know. It said we can adjust it. I said we can adjust it through the case, didn't I? Where? You lying to me? Am I lying to myself? Yeah, I totally am lying to myself. You cannot adjust that through the case, you dummy. Okay, well, fuck. Okay, so we are gonna do some time to do some sketchy shit. Time to do some sketchy shit. Let's see, is this small enough to go into that pot? Yeah, it is. Okay. So we're going to put blackjack in here. And that goes this way. So that would be, it sits like this, so same way, right? We can turn it on. No, we can't because we don't have it plugged in. We're going to plug it in. And then we can turn it on. And we see blackjack. And then we can put our screwdriver in here. There we go. Right there. What do you think? That looks a lot better. Some of those color bars don't look good. Let's adjust it a bit more. right there. What do we think? What do we think about that? Ha ha ha! That's pretty good. We had to adjust the pot on the, that's probably because we replaced the capacitors that we had to adjust the pot to get that to look good. Let's see. What is this supposed to look like? Let's look online. So this is Mattel Electronics, Poker, and Blackjack. Let's see if we can find a picture of the gameplay. Okay, so let me go to game. Okay, our blue, our red. This one has that fourth color on the right being white, and ours is more of a green and white all the way on the far left. So I think we do need to adjust a bit more. I don't know if we'll get it to be white. What I'll end up doing here is adjusting it so much that I make it worse. I think that's pretty good. Oh well. A little bit more. Not going to be perfect with a mod anyway. That's pretty good. I don't see any color variation at the top there. It's a tiny bit different, but that's pretty damn good. And it probably will look better once we get all the RF shielding installed, because it's currently not. What do you say? Haha, hot cows. Sorry about that, brother. Thanks for stopping in. We appreciate it either way. The stream's kind of been a shit show with the internet dropouts, but I gotta figure that out tomorrow. How's it been, by the way, Yank? Has it been really stuttery since a while ago? Have we been stuttering much? You agree, you agree, Angry? Pretty good. We're gonna keep it? All right. Let's see if we can try some other games that maybe have a little bit more color. Like, where's our... Let's see. Here's Burger Time. Burger Time. What other games? Ooh, this one sounds fun. I don't know if I played this one yet. Night Stalker? That sounds fucking dope. That sounds dope as hell. So maybe, can we, is there a picture of gameplay on this somewhere? Oh yeah, there is on the back. Okay, so that's how we're gonna know what it's supposed to look like. So, Night Stalker. Oh, that's real good. That doesn't look to be working at all. Yeah, so that one might need a clean. That's probably just some dirty pins or something. What else we got here? We know Burger Time works, so if this doesn't work, we got problems. Yep. Burger Time looks good. Burger Time looks pretty good. It's a little flickery, but that might just also be, that might be because we don't have the case really put in all the way. It's not flickering anymore. Yeah, I'm gonna hope that that flickering goes away once we get the all the RF shielding reinstalled and get this really put all back together, because it's just out and about at the moment. Everything's out and about. Yeah. So, because the grounding, the shield really isn't installed correctly yet, and all that. So, what do you think, Yank? Think that's pretty good? I think so. I don't like the flickering. That bothers me. But what are you going to do with an RF signal, right? Shield will fix it. I hope so. Anyways, I want to take this back apart because I want to clean the case and then put it all back together. So let's disconnect our controllers. Controller 1. Controller 2. That gets hot. Now I know why it needs that heat shrink there, huh? We will take this off the board. We'll be careful because these are big caps. They could probably give us a good shock if we touched them. Disconnect our ribbon cable here. Might resolder that too. I don't like how that moves. That's our power connector. This is to our transformer. Off it goes. Yeah, our pins look fine. That's just a really shitty connector. I don't like how much that moves. Well, that's how they designed it, right? Alright, so power board's out. Leave her be! When Yank tells me to leave her be, I leave her be, bro. Okay, we gotta desolder this because this needs to go in the case. Well, we can leave that soldered for now. This can just go over here. That can just sit right there on the desk until I'm ready to put that back together. And then this can come out of the case, and there's our bottom. Okay. The next thing I need to look into is why the IntelliVoice doesn't work on this. Here's our top. I did see our button floating around. It was sitting on the desk here. Make sure we find that real quick. Our little switchy. Our controllers will just, they need these re-glued. They were just held on with some tape. So I'll get the epoxy and put those back on real good so they don't come off. I think both of them are that way. Where did our little button go? Where did our button go? I saw it sitting here on the table when we were taking this thing apart. Let's get this out of the way. It's over here. Okay, we got it. There's all of our screws. There's our on and off button. So we'll give all this a good clean, and we'll epoxy these little pads back on, and then we'll put it all back together and hopefully have a great picture, and it will be all done. And we'll do that. We'll put this all back together tomorrow. So I'm going to go upstairs and put this in the sink and give her a good scrub and magic rub all this gunk off here. And I'm going to glue these back on because someone just reattached them with tape, double-sided tape. It's supposed to be something more intense than that holding those on, I imagine. So, should have clamps to do that somewhere down here. I need to clamp that on. Yeah, here's one. Should have another one somewhere, but we'll glue and then clamp that on like, yep, like that. And let her sit. So we'll take that up with us too. I should have more than one of these somewhere. Okay, that's probably it for tonight, especially with the internet being shit. I need to figure that out. Not really sure what happened, but... And then we'll get this all back in the case and get this looking nice, and I'll go online and see why the IntelliVoice doesn't work. Maybe that's something we can figure out while we got the board out. If not, then all the other games seem to work, so, well, just actually Burger Time and stuff seems to work. Anyways. Hopefully putting it in the case gets rid of our flickering, but we'll see. Alright. No PS2, I mean, he told me it doesn't read discs. Not much to be said there. I need to order the lasers. I'm just gonna have to order lasers to fix the PS2. I can talk to you about some things, so to do. Don't really want to do them right now, especially because we're going to get the Intellivision 2 composite kits probably tomorrow, and we'll be doing those for a few days. But I got, so Yank, you remember that one PS5 we did? We did the HDMI on it. It's back, unfortunately, and it's back because he said he sold it, and the guy brought it back, and the guy said that he played it for 10 minutes and then it turned off. So I have liquid metal. I'm hoping I can just put more liquid metal on it and it will be good. If there's anything else you can think of that would cause that issue, let me know. I don't know. Wow, look at this place. This place is an absolute mess. Yeah. Don't know on that. Overheating, probably. Yeah. So I can put more liquid metal on it, or new liquid metal, and see if that helps. I don't really have any games. I know it overheats the most when you play like 2K and stuff like that. So clean it off all the old and put some new on. We'll do that. One of these days we'll do that at least. One of these days. I want to get all these consoles out the door first, all these Intellivisions that I have stacked over here. We got a lot of stuff and sitting around, and oh, I got the Blue Scuzzies to work. I had to put some different OSs on them to get them to work with the Color Classic and the Classic 2, but they work, and I have all the games loaded on them and everything, so the only thing left to do on those is retro-bright the cases. I really want to make those look really nice, so... Anyways, I'll stop gabbing because it's dropping 20% of my frames fucking anyway, so... Thanks for hanging out tonight. I appreciate it, you guys. And we will do some more console repair next time. In the meantime, I'm going to look up why the IntelliVoice seems to not work on this Intellivision. Cool? Cool. Thank you, guys. Everyone have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. I'm going to get this frickin' Wi-Fi issue fixed now. I'm going to try to. Alright. Good night.